guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Shaina Rene, and we are back for another video. So this video is going to be very different to any video that I've ever done before because, well, not really. It's a Q&A video, but this time I'm talking about traveling and stuff like that. So this video is highly requested. A lot of you guys had so many questions about traveling to Europe, especially during COVID, all those things. So I'm here to answer all your questions. I put up a poll on my Instagram asking people to let me know whatever questions you guys have about, you know, my trip to Europe. You guys left a bunch of questions, so I'm gonna pick my favorite questions or most answered questions. Actually, the questions I feel like needed. The questions I feel that need to be answered the most, I'm going to pick those questions, answer them, and I hope this video helps you guys on your travel endeavors. So let's get it started. So first things first, I was in Europe for 10 days. I took a trip from Paris to Milan, then from Milan to Venice. Great experience, and one thing I want to tell you guys, it took a lot of planning. I don't want you guys to think that this trip just got brought up out of the random woodworks. No, we've been planning this trip from August, like the end of August, and we didn't leave till the beginning of December. So we put a lot of time into this trip, and I'm going to tell you guys how everything was done and the process and just being there and getting from place to place. So let's cue the montage just for a little rewind and recap of the trip, and then we'll get straight into this video. Alright guys, so wasn't that a great trip? Like, if you guys have not already seen the vlog, go tune into that now. I just pulled up the questions. They are right here. Ooh. Oh my god. So I have a few questions that I'm going to answer. I even have more, but that's just a few. So first question, let me pick. So somebody asked, did you plan out the cities to visit beforehand or when you arrived? So like I told you guys previously, this trip was planned in advance. And in my opinion, I still feel like we didn't plan far enough in advance. Like, I feel like we should have been planning this trip since like March. Like, because even though we did get a head start of planning by like 2 months, 3 months, actually, yeah, 3 months, I still think when you go to Europe, you need to really plan out everything that you want to do. So we planned out the cities beforehand. We already knew where we were going to go, what hotels we were going to stay in. And the last thing we had to figure out was basically like the order of where we were going to go. So I thought it would, initially, matter of fact, before I even get into this, initially we were supposed to go to London first. So it was supposed to be London, Paris, Milan, and Venice. The reason why we didn't go to London anymore is because I heard that London started cracking down on their COVID restrictions. So if we would have landed there, we would have had to quarantine for like 10 days or something like that. So we scratched London off the list and we went straight to Paris. So that kind of cut our tour down. So we basically booked a round trip flight to Paris. That was the first flight that we booked, and then we got our Paris hotel first. Then we were like, okay, let's go to Milan next. So we booked the flight to Milan, and then we booked our hotel in Milan. So as we kind of like figured out the order of which we wanted to go, we booked flight and hotel, then flight, then hotel. And to get to Venice, we had to take a train. So we booked the train, then the hotel. So once we secured the travel there, then we secured our stay. So that's kind of how we did that. Someone said, traveling through different airports, how did you know where to go? So it wasn't really hard because honestly, with any airport in any country or any state or anything like that, you just got to pay attention to the signs and just read. And then honestly, it's super easy. I never really had a hard time going through airports. I know everybody's experience is a little different, but advice from me to you is just check out the signs, see what it says, and it's really pretty simple. But if you do have a hard time, just ask somebody and they'll definitely guide you where to go. I got my wine for this one. So somebody said, planned trip or surprise, expensive or manageable, and most looking forward to. So this trip was planned. It was not a surprise. this trip was actually, I want to say it was in between expensive and manageable. So once again, once you plan accordingly, the trip will be more suitable and affordable for you, because if you wait till the last minute, obviously the flight prices will be higher, the hotel prices will be higher, all that stuff. So it's kind of in between for me, because also when you get out there, there's so much that we did. We went so many places. Like I said, if you guys watch the vlog, you guys know, like, going to the museums, Disney, restaurants, clubs, all those things cost. So depending on what you want to do will really depend on which the ticket you are looking at in the end. So keep that in mind. Somebody wants to know the procedure. Are there any travel or health forms that you have to fill out beforehand? So going to Paris, all we needed was our PCR test, which I was surprised about, because there was different things that I would see online as far as vaccinations or different forms that we had to fill out, things like that. Up until 2 days before we left, like, he literally went to the airport to ask the people at Delta, like, listen, we're leaving in 2 days, what do we need? Because we were seeing so much different information on the websites, and we just weren't sure. So I didn't want to risk it, because I remember, like I told you guys in the vlog, I came from Atlanta, then I went to New York, so I didn't want to have to do all that and then we possibly not get to leave. So once the people at the airport told us all we needed was our PCR test, we were like, oh, that's it, we got that, we're going, it's lit. We were ready at that point. So all we needed at that time was our PCR test. Do not take my word for it 100%. Make sure when you guys are leaving for your trip that you do your own research, because as you guys know, with this pandemic, things change by the second. So just keep in mind about these things, because you do not want to be caught at surprise once you get to the gate. Next question was, did you have to quarantine? So no, I did not have to quarantine. We literally got there and then we were just outside after that. So no, we did not, thankfully. Yeah, that's about it. Someone asked, how was the flight from the US to Europe? So the flight going from New York to Paris was about 8 hours. It wasn't too bad, honestly. If you guys are not the type of people to sleep on the plane, I suggest picking 4 good movies as soon as you get on the plane, and then you'll be there in no time. Or if you're like me and you're gonna be knocked out, you're definitely gonna be there in no time. But we got a night flight when we left. So we left New York about 9:30 p.m. and we got to Paris around 11:30 a.m. around that time. So I suggest getting a night flight, because you're gonna be tired anyway and just end up knocking out on the plane. So you're gonna really feel like you got there super fast. Someone also asked, how did you book the places that you stayed at, and where did you find places to stay? So we booked most of the places that we stayed at, like on travel sites like Travelocity, Booking.com, and things like that. Like, I normally, for all my trips, book them through Travelocity, because I feel like, you know, there's a lot of options on there. Like, I never really go straight to websites to book, like hotel websites to book my hotels, because I feel like you save more on the travel booking websites as opposed to going straight to the company. So yeah, I did it through Travelocity and Booking. Honestly, I kind of went back and forth to see who had the better deal. 9 times out of 10, they typically have the same prices, but sometimes just check both, because one price might be better than the other. All right, somebody asked, which country did you like more, Paris or Italy? So I guess France or Italy, Paris the city. But I really can't answer that question, because okay, I can break down city to city. So Paris was one thing, Milan was another, and Venice was also another. Paris was like the most active based part of the trip. Like, and I'm sorry for my phone going off. Let me mute that, because that is rude. So Paris was a turn up portion of our trip. So this was a birthday trip. So when we first got there, it was like, okay, like you guys saw, like, I'm not gonna tell you guys everything about the vlog, but hopefully if you're watching this, you already watched my vlog, and if you didn't, it will be linked below. But when we first got there, we went to the dinner cruise, as you guys should have seen in my vlog, which was pretty nice. And Then after that, we went to a hookah lounge just to like as a nightcap kind of thing, I guess you would call it. I hope I'm not using the wrong term. After that, the next day, we basically, you know, went to get lunch, and we went to the club, things like that. Like, then the next day we went to the Louvre, and we went to Disney, and then we went to the club again. And we did a lot of activities in Paris. We went to a speakeasy. We went to a lot of hookah lounges, a lot of clubs, a lot of restaurants. We did a lot. So with Paris, it was like go, 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 go. By the time we got to Milan, we just wanted to basically eat at nice restaurants, take pictures, shop around, sightsee, things like that, more relaxing. Our goal with Venice was to obviously do the gondola rides, things like that. But if you guys watch my vlog, by the time we got to Venice, our COVID health pass, what is it called? It's called a green pass in Italy. Our green pass was no longer valid because the pass that we got the day before we got to Venice expired at midnight because they changed the rules going into the next day. So that's why I told you guys, make sure when you guys are traveling at the time that you decide to travel, keep up with whatever the new travel restrictions are because they change all the time. So I want you guys to be aware of that. So with Venice, we had different plans for Venice, but once we got there, all we could really do is kind of sit in the hotel because we really couldn't go to any restaurants. It was raining. We couldn't do the gondola rides or anything like that because of the rain. Venice didn't go as planned, so I definitely do want to go to Venice again because I feel like I didn't get a fair chance in Venice. But it's cool. I still had a great time nonetheless. But Paris was definitely more of the turn-up portion. My favorite city out of all would be Milan because it was my first time going there. I've been to Paris before. This is actually my third time in Paris. But Milan was just more of a calm city vibe. So I just like the versatility of the city. So you can club if you want to, but still just have that relaxed vibe and the modern vibe, the high-rise vibe. Like, you know, Paris doesn't have that vibe. Paris is more older buildings, those older structures with the balconies. Milan is like modern day city vibe. So I really like that about the city. So that would be the answer to that question. But I had a great time everywhere. It was such a great trip, great experiences, and I honestly would never forget this trip. Someone asked how to find the best hookah places sorry guys, clubs and restaurants. So we found every place that we visited on Instagram and TikTok. So I recommend TikTok if you really want to see the real vibe of these restaurants and these lounges, because a lot of people do like tours, videos, like little mini day in the life vlogs, and they really show like their review on restaurants and things like that. So that's how we found like basically everything that we did, like from the speakeasy to the cafes to the clubs. Everything is on social media. Please use social media to your advantage. Like, you will literally find everything that you need. Like, it's so crazy when people act like they could not find nothing. Everything is online. It's so crazy. So we found everything on TikTok and Instagram. And that's really how we planned out our whole entire itinerary. Like, the itinerary that we had was like 2 pages long, and we didn't even get to do everything. We did as much as we could, but we still didn't get to do everything. A lot of people are asking me in my questions if I experienced any racism while I was out there, and no, we did not. We actually had a really good time. One thing I would say with Venice, I didn't see any black people. The only time I saw one black man was when we were on the water taxi back to the train station when we were heading back to Paris. And that was the only black person I saw. So this leads me to my next question that I got, which was, did I feel safe? So I felt safe in every city. I didn't really have a problem like as far as safety and stuff like that. But in Venice, because there was no black people, and the area that we were kind of in, even though it was a busy-ish kind of area, at night it got super desolate. Like, it was super quiet. There was like nobody walking around. Obviously there's no cars, so there's no movement. There's really no boat movement around that time at night, so it's like super quiet. So at that point, like at night, like we really just stayed in the room. Like, I know on the first night when we got there, after we shopped around and stuff like that and got some food, We went back to the hotel, showered and stuff. Then we went to eat at our hotel restaurant because, like I told you guys, we couldn't go anywhere else. So after that, we ended up saying, okay, let's go to this this bar that we found on TikTok. So I was hesitant to go anyway because, as you guys know, we didn't have the COVID pass, the green pass or whatever. But we're like, all right, let's just still go walk around and see if it's open, just to see what it looks like in person. Even if we don't get in, we could just still see what it looks like. So we had to walk all the way there. It was like a 15-minute walk from our hotel. Mind you, it's nighttime. Venice has a bunch of like cut blocks in the alleys. Like, it's just, it's ghetto, okay? It's not ghetto, but it's a little scary. Like, you know, like if you got a car, you can hop in your car or hop in an Uber, go from point A to point B. But if you really gotta walk, like I'm walking late night, it's cold, I don't know this city, it's not many people on the street because at night a lot of people aren't outside walking. So it's just me and him. We walking through, you know, Venice, like the only two black people, once again, just walking through Venice. It's late, it's dark, it's cold. We walk all the way to the bar just for the bar to be closed. And I'm like, all right, we're going back to the hotel because I don't feel safe being out here right now. It's late, it's dark, we're the only two black people. I can't swim. God forbid somebody push me over into this water. It's over for me because I can't swim. So I'm like, let's just go back to the hotel. We could just watch a movie, chill, whatever, see what happens the next day. So Venice was not really my vibe, but I will give it another chance. But that's one thing about my safety that I did not like. Another part of the trip where I didn't feel safe, but not really, was in Milan. This is our last time in Milan in the vlog when we went back to Milan. So that night after we went to STK, we went to like a rooftop bar or whatever, and we were just in there chilling. You know, he had some friends that were out there, so we met up with them, whatever. We're there all, you know, drinking, smoking hookah, just all minding our business at the table. And there were like these two Italian guys at their own separate table, and sorry for the noise outside, but there were these two Italian guys at their own separate table, and you know, they sent some drinks over to our table. We had the same waiter, pay attention. So they sent some drinks over to our table, and I'm like, okay, cool, that's nice, whatever. So one of the Italian guys starts talking to my dude's friend or whatever. So they start talking and they're like chopping it up or whatever, and you know, I'm still minding my own business, whatever. You know, sometimes when you travel, you meet new people. That's a normal thing. Like, especially if you go like to the islands and go to resorts, you meet people. Cool. So they're all talking or whatever. So my dude, he has jewelry. His friend has jewelry. So they start talking about jewelry and this and that. You know, they buying drinks. You know, we all vibing. Cool. I'm sorry I'm talking about my hands. Like, it's the New York in me. Sorry. But cool. We all talking. I guess they all had their little conversations. You know, guys talk to guys, whatever. They be chopping it up. Me and the other girl, we're just, you know, talking, whatever. Long story short, I guess the guys told the Italian guys that we will be going to this other lounge after we left that lounge. Another lounge called Smoke One, if you guys are interested in going there. It was a calm vibe. But anyway, they told them that we were going to Smoke One. So they're like, all right, cool, we're going to meet you guys there, whatever, whatever. They leave, right? This noise. I'm going to wait for this noise to pass. Right. So the guys leave, right? So now, you know, we're leaving. We're getting ourselves together to leave. And now we're walking out the spot. And the bouncer says to us, oh, don't go with those guys. They're very dangerous. They will steal your jewelry. They'll steal your jewelry. Do not go with them. So we're all looking at each other like, what are you talking about? Like, we was all vibing. They seemed cool, whatever. So we in the elevator now like, oh, nah, it's clipped. We're not going. We're just going to go to the hotel and that's it for the night. Because it was already late at that point anyway. We were just trying to go to the next spot to be grown. But anyway, we get down to the lobby now after we were all plotting how we're gonna run to the car, all that. So now we get to the lobby and we're walking out and the guys are sitting outside the hotel waiting. So they're like, okay, we're on our way. We'll see you guys there. So I guess they waited outside to make sure that we were actually about to go to the next spot. So now another bouncer, like another another bouncer who's on the first level before you get to the rooftop. He sees them and he sees them talking to us, and he's like, no, do not talk to those guys. Like, so now we're like, oh nah, it's definitely real. So that's when we really got in the car and we went back to the hotel, and that was it for Milan. So those were the only 2 times that I felt like unsafe. But other than that, you know, I never felt like not safe. So just when you go out there, be on your P's and Q's. Do not trust nobody. Do not talk to strangers. Stranger danger. And you'll be fine. Somebody asked, how did you get around as far as transportation? So Paris and Milan has Ubers. So that's what we use for pretty much all of the trip. Obviously Venice, they have water taxis that work at certain hours of the day. And other than that, you use your feet because they don't have cars. Someone said, was it hard navigating in Paris without speaking French? Because it was hard for me when I went. So yes, it was definitely a barrier as far as the language, but not too much, because honestly, the way I did it, like if I went to restaurants, like I told you, we found a lot of restaurants on Instagram and TikTok. So nine times out of 10, we already knew what we wanted to eat based off what we saw on Instagram. So if I was placing my order with somebody that didn't really speak much English, I would just go on Instagram and be like, I want this. Like I would just point at my phone and they'll be like, okay, I'm gonna get you this, I'll get you that. There was one restaurant that we went to though that the lady didn't speak no English. Like it was so bad. Like we took a minute to order our food, but it wasn't too bad. And honestly, for the most part, people speak some English, so it's not 100% bad. So just try to, you know, work with them and try to make it easy for both of you guys. Someone wants to know, can you go to Europe if you're not vaccinated, and how many COVID tests are needed? So you can go to Europe without being vaccinated, but you're gonna have to take a COVID test every 48 hours, whether you're vaccinated or not. So even if you are still vaccinated, you still have to take a COVID test every 48 hours, but that's only if you want to go to places such as museums and restaurants and lounges and stuff like that, because they're gonna expect you to show your health pass. So keep that in mind when traveling to Europe. You have to show your health pass. Someone also asked, is the cost of living higher? Should you bring US dollars or their amount? So I would suggest keeping all your money on your card and just letting your card do the conversions for you. I do not suggest bringing any cash out there and then turning it into euros, because you're going to lose out on a lot of money, because the value of the US dollar is less than the European dollar. So keep that in mind, because you don't want to lose your money and you want to have as much money as possible when going out there, because it is pretty expensive. In Paris, I want to say to get around in an Uber from place to place was about like 20 pounds, not pounds, 20 euros per ride. And like in Milan, our rides were like 11 euros per ride. So it's like Paris is more expensive than Milan. So, you know, keep that in mind. Next question was, how did you pack your luggage and did you have to pay extra? So the way I packed my luggage was, I packed by the outfit. I didn't want to overpack. I checked in one bag and I had a roller carry-on as well as a duffel. So those are my 3 bags that I carried, and I did not want to go beyond that because I knew we were traveling to 3 places and I didn't want to pack too heavy because that's just uncomfortable. And me using this, me having those 3 bags was already enough for me, and it was already a hassle. So I did not want to deal with anything more than that. So when you're flying internationally, you do not have to pay extra for your first checked bag, thankfully. So I did not have to pay for that. And then you are allowed to carry 2 carry-ons. Well, that's when you're flying with Delta. I fly with Delta for the most part, so that's their rules. But I'm pretty sure different rules for different airlines. So just do your research as far as whoever you're flying with, and they'll let you know what you will be able to bring. Someone asked, where is the best food? So I have to think back. I would have to say the best food that I had was in Milan, honestly. Paris had pretty good food, but Milan had the vibes. Like, I love Italian food, so I was super excited to try traditional Italian food. So the pasta out there was good. The steak was good. The lobster, I had this lobster fettuccine in Venice, but it's still Italy. Oh my God, so good. Milan, the STK in Milan was so good. STK in America is trash. I do not even eat STK when I'm in New York or in Atlanta. But in Milan, that food was good. I don't know if it's because we was hungry that night, but that food was good. Like, it was really, really good. So, yeah, Milan would be like my, you know, the place with the good food. Someone asked me, was Disney World Paris worth it, and how was the food in Paris? Like I just said, the food in Paris is pretty good. Just do your research before you go anywhere and you will be fine. Do not walk into any random restaurants. Pick the restaurants that you want to go to before you even get to the country. That's what we did. Like, every restaurant that we went to, we said, okay, we're going here, here, here. Day 1 we're doing this, day 2 we're doing that, day 3 we're doing that. The worst food that we had in Paris though was on that river cruise, and that cruise was too expensive for that food that we had on that cruise, but it was a nice vibe. So I think you're paying for more of the vibes and the liquor instead of the food, because we had wine, champagne, like we had like 2 different types of wine, 2 different types of champagne, and some other drink that they gave us. It was a lot of liquor, but that food was bad. But Disney World Paris, to me, it was worth it. I wish we would have got there a little earlier, but the day that we did decide to go, we already had like a jam-packed day with a bunch of other stuff. So we really didn't really have that much time to do more at Disney. But Disney, it's about your personal preference. Disney was something that I wanted to do for a really long time. So for me, it was definitely worth it. So if you're not into like the amusement parks, or you're not a child at heart like me, I wouldn't suggest going to Disney, because it's going to be like a lot of kids running around. But if you want to experience it, I definitely recommend experiencing it. It's really, you know, a good experience to try something new in a different country. Like, why not go to Disney in a different country? People don't even go to Disney in their own country, which is crazy to me. All right, this will be the last question that I answer. Someone wants to know, did you book a round trip or a one-way to the first destination and a one-way for the second destination? So we booked a round trip to Paris from New York, and then we left and went to Milan. Then we left again from Milan and went to Venice. Then we left Venice, went back to Milan. Then we left Milan and went back to Paris. So we kind of like reverse the whole trip to get back to square one to catch our flight to go back. So honestly, I suggest doing it whatever suits you best, because you can book a one-way to Paris and, you know, leave from Milan, but we wanted to go back to Paris for one more night, so that's why we did it that way. But it really doesn't matter how you do it. Like, it really just depends on what you're willing to do. Like, honestly, the way that we did was a lot, because it was a lot of back and forth, a lot of traveling, but it was cool. Like, I didn't really mind it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope I answered as many questions as possible for you guys as far as traveling to Europe. I know the pandemic makes traveling extra difficult, so make sure you guys do your research before you guys go anywhere, because you do not want to get turned away at the gate. I've heard a lot of stories about people heading to their destinations and getting turned away because, you know, you just can't go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I helped you in any way possible plan your next trip. Make sure you guys use Instagram, make sure you guys use TikTok, make sure you guys use those hashtags on Instagram, and you're gonna have the trip of your dreams. And just plan your trips in advance, and everything will go smoothly. So if you guys like this video, give this video a thumbs up. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.